Tonight's headlines are brought to you in part by Coldwell Energy and McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thank you for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sally Limis. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. COVID-19 has spread out of Saipan and into our neighboring islands. Also tonight, the court finds probable cause to try a couple involved in a New Year's Day murder. And up on the Hill, one representative calls for an investigation for the governor's lawyer. In sports, a young lady represents the Sinamay in swimming competitions. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich. You'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, January 14, 2022. COVID has now spread to 3 islands in the Marianas. Hospital Chief Esther Munia announces that positive cases of COVID-19 have been identified on the island of Tinian.
And the updates from Tinian: 8 cases, 4 of those to be announced tonight. Isolated and actively monitored. 53 close contacts were identified. All have been tested, were negative, and contact tracing is ongoing.
Earlier this week, the CHCC reported 2 positive cases on the island of Rota. Today, that number has increased to 6. Munia states all 6 individuals are isolated and are actively monitored. 40 close contacts of the positive cases on Rota have all been tested negative for COVID. Regional epidemiologist Stephanie Kern-Ali has returned to the Sinamay to continue her assistance in the COVID operations. She says some of the recently identified cases on Rota and Tinian have travel history from areas known for high rates of COVID-19.
We are seeing that there is a lot of cases of COVID globally right now. Especially in areas where people may have recently traveled from. So some of the cases on Rota and Tinian are travel related, and some of them are some have working exposure.
Officials state COVID therapeutics, including the monoclonal antibody treatment, are available on both Tinian and Rhoda. Medical teams continue to assess patients to determine if treatments are needed. Should a patient need further medical care, the CHCC and COVID-19 task force will transport them to Saipan.
So there's only one hospital here, which is this on Saipan. So ventilator assistance. I mean, if you're going to be receiving ventilator care or ventilated care, it has to be done within a hospital, and that's basically here on Saipan.
The Sinamai has had 20 tragic deaths and 95 people in the hospital since the beginning of the pandemic. Munya addresses her medical staff and members of the community for a message she wants to share during this time of the pandemic.
So I want to give, our sincere appreciation to the healthcare and public health workers who have been working hard over the last 2.5 months to contain the cases of COVID-19 in our community. They are indeed true heroes. I also want to thank the people of the Sinamai for coming together to protect ourselves and our families. Our 97.5 vaccination rate is exceptional and makes us a global leader. While we have seen a major decrease in cases since the beginning of this current wave of infections, the total number of cases and hospitalizations still remains too high. The continuing cases, hospitalizations, and deaths in our community is an opportunity to remind everyone that the pandemic is not over. As a health department, we're working closely with our federal colleagues to be prepared for increase in hospitalizations, and we really need the community to continue to come together, and let's help each other reduce hospitalizations. CHCC will continue to provide community testing, vaccines, and drugs to treat infections. We are preparing for any new surge of cases to our hospital and on the alternate care side, and we'll continue to monitor for the Omicron variant.
Munya and Ali reminds the public to practice the 3 W's and to live COVID safe. The Sinamai Superior Court finds probable cause to try a Chinese couple for murder. After hearing testimonies from witnesses and based upon matters shown in court, the Sinamai Superior Court finds probable cause to try Lin Yang Kong and Lee Quin Yi for allegedly killing a man on New Year's Day. Associate Judge Kenneth Govendo filed the order on Tuesday following the preliminary hearing of the Chinese couple. The court finds probable cause to believe Kong committed the following crimes: second-degree murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault and battery. His girlfriend Yi is believed to commit the crime of accessory after the fact. The arraignments in this matter is set to be heard by presiding judge Robert Naraha on January 24, 2022. According to court documents, as the world welcomed 2022, the Chinese couple were allegedly involved in stabbing another Chinese man that led to his death. The couple told police that they were drinking with the victim and a fight broke out. Kong then allegedly took out his pocket knife and stabbed the victim when he saw that his girlfriend had been assaulted by him. When Kong felt warm blood on his hands, he stopped and the couple walked away. As soon as the girlfriend, Yi, saw police around the area, she immediately walked the opposite direction. It has been believed that she used that time to hide the knife. Kong told police he stabbed the victim twice, but the hospital reported the victim died due to multiple lacerations on the head, neck, and upper torso. The feud between certain Democrat lawmakers and Governor Ralph Torres is not over just yet. Before ending the impeachment session on Wednesday, JGO chairwoman announced that she will be filing an ethics complaint against the governor's legal counsel. According to JGO chairwoman Selena Babauta, the governor's legal counsel has made false allegations against statements issued out of Babauta's office.
As you all know, last week, Friday, January 7th, 2022, the governor's office issued a press release that basically indicated that I, as chairwoman of the House of Representatives Committee on Judiciary and Governmental Operations, JGO, published untrue statements that amounted to distortion and misrepresentations of statements made by Governor Torres. In that publication, the governor's in-house legal counsel, Mr. Gilbert Burnbrick, essentially implied that I had placed a partisan spin on matters related to the dispute relating to the governor's investigation. Pago matui ora para bayhu naklaruzit itauto, siha zabayhu publika hafa masusedi, kosa kitadza hududa, zau claro zantunas I historia.
Before the House adjourned Wednesday's session, Babauta presented an email message that she says will set the record straight. The email was sent from Richard Miller, one of the governor's legal representations. Miller addressed the email to Deputy Court Clerk Nora Borja, requesting a chambers conference with the Chief Justice regarding the appointment of Tim Bellas as judge pro tempore. Babauta then issued a release stating that the governor attempted to manipulate the judicial branch by requesting a closed-door meeting between himself and the Chief Justice. Burnberg immediately responded by saying this is not true. He explained that the meeting was to address the governor's concern that no current or former CNMI judge should preside over the lawsuit. He then added, quote, "Unfortunately, the chairwoman's distortion and misrepresentations of the governor's concerns demonstrated all too clearly that those concerns are valid and that if a partisan spin can be put on anything related to this dispute, it will be." End quote. Babauta addressed that statement on Wednesday and says the actions of Burnberg and Miller present professional misconduct.
For all the experiences between Mr. Burnbrick and Mr. Miller practicing law, this attempt to meet with Chief Justice in chambers off the record is inappropriate and highly unethical. It undermines the integrity of the legal process that the governor initiated when he filed the lawsuit against the JGO.
Babauta will be formally taking actions against the governor's legal representation.
It is clear that Mr. Burnbrick has masqueraded the facts to fit their narrative, and Mr. Burnbrick owes me an apology for his attempt to besmirch my reputation. I will be officially requesting the NMI Bar Association to investigate and determine if Mr. Gil Burnbrick should be sanctioned and disciplined for making allegations against me, false allegations, as the JGO chairwoman.
The Northern Marianas College announces an update to their nursing admission tests. The new admission test for nursing students will now have a one standard scoring system. NMC announces they will discontinue the two-tier scoring system that was used back in fall of 2020 and 2021 admission cohort. In this new scoring system, the applicant must pass the admission test with a 60% or higher in all 5 content areas. They are mathematics, reading, writing, science, and critical thinking. This change applies to NMC pre-nursing students who are on track to finishing their prerequisites in spring or summer of 2022. This is also applicable to other students who have met the prerequisite requirements and are ready to apply for fall 2022 nursing cohort. Students are encouraged to contact their nursing advisor for an update on their progress towards applying for admission into the nursing program for fall 2022. Coming up, one individual shares his experience of being on the field with this year's national football champions. Stay tuned.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
At Gold's Gym, our pre and post workout formulas are loaded into every smoothie, giving you a satisfying meal with fewer calories, perfect to enhance a workout or replace a meal. In January, try our Pina Colada Crunch smoothie of the month for just $5.50. It's got great stuff in it like soy milk, bananas, pineapple, vanilla pre-post, and granola. 460 calories of energy with 20 grams of protein, just 6 grams of fat. Fast food that is good for you and tastes great. Shake it up. Gold's Gym, Garapan.
The COVID-19 vaccine is a great way to diminish the spread of the coronavirus and getting our daily lives back to normal.
I want people to feel safe and comfortable when they're around me. I understand that there's so much anxiety surrounding COVID, and I want to do my part in reducing that anxiety.
I wanted to protect myself,
patients,
my family,
and my coworkers.
I have students who also have underlying health issues, and I know that this is my responsibility to take care of myself, but also to protect them and their families.
I encourage our community to go and get vaccinated, for it is our greatest hope to conquer the spread of coronavirus.
Get vaccinated, ask questions, do it for our community.
For the Marianas.
Get vaccinated, CNMI.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. This week, the University of Georgia won the national championship in college football. For one member of our community, it was more special than most. Our Chris Nelson has more.
Trey Dunn has been a longtime member of the NMI national football team. He's an avid fisherman, loves to play Ultimate, and he likes to dress up. Trey attended the University of Georgia, where he took school spirit to the next level and became Harry Dog, the mascot for the school's sports programs. He says, like anything else, there are tryouts.
Tried out the first year, and I didn't actually make it because the two guys that were doing it the year before came back. But it was like some great experience. You like do like a skit, you kind of make up like a funny thing like in costume and like do it, and then there's another like sort of improv session where they just pick some random stuff and give it to you and let you like, you know, see what you do with it. They just want to know like, how into UGA sports are you? Are you just there to go to football games, or are you like really a diehard red and black bleeding bulldog?
Harry Dog roams the sidelines, does skits with other mascots, and makes pre- and post-game appearances, oftentimes in front of over 90,000 people on game day.
You wake up super early. You meet up with all the cheerleaders. So the mascot is part of the cheerleading program there. And you kind of go around, do a bunch of appearances early in the morning.
Two people share duties as mascot on game day. One takes the first half, the other the second half.
There's only one Harry Dog, so the second guy gets a pretty wet Harry Dog costume. It's pretty sweaty in there.
This week it was the Crimson Tide of Alabama versus the Bulldogs of Georgia for the championship of college football. Harry Dog on one sideline, Big Al on the other. Trey says the game brought back a lot of memories.
I don't even really know how to describe it. Like, I've lived out here for a long time, and I feel like maybe I've lost a little bit of like that emotion and touch with that. Like, I still watch every game. I still am up at like 2, 3 a.m. whenever the game comes on here on Sunday and watching it. But like, I hadn't felt that like heartstring kind of tug that you feel when you're like there and like in the stadium and like just going crazy when it's like, you know, a minute left in the game and they're driving down and you're only up by 8 and you know that like they could score and get that 2-point conversion and it's going to overtime and you're just thinking, oh no, like you're just like crushed. And then like to see like us just get that interception and like run it back and score, and it's just like, oh, it's over now. There's nothing. Like, it just kind of came rushing back. It's like I saw the Georgia quarterback like crying on the sideline, and I was like pretty close.
The Northern Marianas College and Sports Organization kick off the new year with Adopt a Median projects on Saipan. The Northern Marianas Sports Association, Shirley's Football Club, and the Northern Marianas College has participated and completed the Adopt a Median projects at traffic intersections on Saipan. They help give streets, median, curbs, and barriers much needed facelifts and helped improve the safety and visibility of the medians and curbs for motorists and pedestrians. The Sports Association worked on the parking lot and curbs of the Oleai Sports Complex in preparation for the Pacific Mini Games in June. Then the Shirley's Football Club painted borders around the intersection in front of the JG Sablon, Ice and Water. NMC worked on the medians in front of Xiaodandan. The project is part of the Governor's Economic Council of Advisors Marianas Village Pride campaign. Today, we had to get one of our editors out of the newsroom so we can write a secret story about him. It's our way of saying thank you for a job well done.
Mariana Islands is such a unique place to cover news, and for a small place, we've had lots of big stories over the years. 2 super typhoons meant no power for months. Undersea cable damage meant almost no internet. We covered the rise and fall of the controversial garment factories, the U.S. takeover of immigration, the mysterious death and battle for the estate of billionaire tycoon Larry Hillblum, the search for Amelia Earhart, the visit by the Emperor of Japan, and the rise and fall of Japanese tourism, the boom from China, the start and stop of $1 billion casino hotel. We've had lots of faces and voices that brought you these stories each and every night. But that only tells viewers half the story. A lot of the work that goes into a news story goes on behind the scenes in the engine room of our television station. A good story is a partnership. A reporter and photographer head out to the story together. The photographer shoots, the reporter writes, the photographer edits, story gets reviewed, tweaked, and then the producer writes a lead-in, and the anchor, who in our case is usually the reporter who wrote the story, delivers it on air. Delbert Camacho is probably our most soft-spoken guy in the newsroom, but his work speaks loud and clear and has for many, many years. He's a musician, so he understands the power of music in a story. He has a keen eye for details. He's a storyteller, and he has tremendous imagination. He's also a terrific drone pilot, has produced spots for AK, produced segments like Local Bites, the Marianas Ukulele Festival, Tinian Pika Festival, Liberation Day parades, and projects on Guam at the Fiesta Resort and Guam Adventures. And he recently edited much of the footage for a documentary we are producing on the Camino de Santiago. Delbert, this show is dedicated to you.
Thank you, Delbert, for everything you've done for KSPN. All right, don't go anywhere, folks, because we have sports up next.
Love and commitment. It's amazing how these 2 words can transform our lives.
The last time I was in Saipan was in July 2020 for my daughter's baptismal. With my position here at work, I'm unable to go back as much as I'd like to visit my daughter, being that there's still the lockdown still in place here in Guam.
And as long as we value these 2 important things, we can make wonders.
I always talk to her when I'm cooking or when packing my lunch for work. And then when I go home and then I talk to her when I get off of work, I always ask her how her day was.
This is where we draw our strength, our happiness, our passion to make everything and every day a lot easier. It's about making every day amazing and giving that extra effort to make all the little things work. In most places, in most moments. And it's our commitment to what we love and who we love that makes us stronger together.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They're an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
All right, for the KSPN2 Sports Report, it's a feature about one of our young stars that represents the CNMI internationally in swimming competitions. If you want to be the best, you have to do things that others aren't willing to do. A quote by Michael Phelps.
Young Stars Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
A freshman from Marianas High School, 14-year-old Shoko Lutulumar is our young star for tonight.
My name is Shoko Lutulumar and I'm 14 years old. I go to school at MHS and I am freshman, 9th grade.
Lutulumar started swimming at a very young age, and it was her mom who made her join the swim club.
I started swimming when I was 5 years old. I don't really remember because I was 5, but I think it was because I wanted to follow my sister to swimming, so my mom made me join.
She is from the Tsunami Saipan Swim Club and became a member of the NMI national team 6 months ago.
I was qualified to be part of the national teams this year when we had a race to choose a national representative to go off island to Abu Dhabi. Around July,
Lutulumar enjoys playing other sports like surfing and volleyball with her friends.
I play volleyball for fun at my house or with my friends. and I go surfing at the beach. I do not much, but some sports.
She loves the water and she feels alert and energetic every time she swims.
I just love how swimming is in water and how we, even though we're in water and people say, you're so lucky, you don't sweat, we feel the body heat in the water and it's very, like, we feel alive.
Latilamore was in Abu Dhabi last month for the 15th FINA World Swimming Championships, and it was her biggest achievement in swimming so far.
My biggest achievement so far for swimming was to go to Abu Dhabi, get qualified as a representative, and I was pretty amazed at myself for getting a very fast time for backstroke at Abu Dhabi.
Aside from Abu Dhabi, she also competed in Guam and Palau.
Most of the time, I've been traveling to Guam for Guam Championships and Palau. That's the only place.
Since the closure of the pool in Marpi in 2018, our swimmers, specifically the national team, are struggling to find a pool for their training.
We were doing our training at a private pool because the Marpi pool has been closed since 2018. We've been moving around pools for several years now, but there was a person who offered my coach to swim in that private pool, so we're very grateful for that person's help.
Her advice to all the young swimmers out there is to have fun and to never give up.
Well, sometimes swimming may be very hard and painful during practice. We may think of times when we want to give up, but it's good to think that swimming is a sport that brings you joy, passion, will want to bring you and your friends together. You get to travel together and have fun.
Young Stars Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Marianas Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Marianas Trekking. Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com.
And for the KSPN weather report, mostly sunny with isolated showers, east-northeast wind around 8 miles per hour. Tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with isolated showers, east-northeast wind around 9 miles per hour. High 86, low 76, a humidity of 84%. Tomorrow, expect partly sunny with scattered showers. East-northeast wind 9 to 17 miles per hour with gusts up to 23 miles per hour. High 84 and low 76. For the marine forecast, it's a high surf advisory in effect from today, January 14, until 6 a.m. Sunday, January 16, 2022. Large breaking waves of 7 to 9 feet and dangerous rip currents north and west facing reefs of the Marianas. The sunrise will be at 6:46 a.m., high tide 4:21 p.m., low tide 11:35 a.m., and the sunset will be at 6:05 p.m. All right, folks, there you have it. That is your weekend edition of the news, sports, and weather. We thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.